Now, Sceptre may not be in the same league as manufacturers like Sony, Samsung, LG, and the rest of them, but I decided to get a monitor from this company. Well, the monitor looked pretty good and it was within my budget, and several weeks later I can say that my decision was right. Now, don't get me wrong, this right here is not the best monitor in the world. As a matter of fact, it's not for everyone, but for what I do with this 27-inch display, it's almost perfect. Assembling this unit was really easy. There's a previous unboxing video on that. The stand looks strong enough, and of course you can mount it on the wall, but you have to buy the mounts separately. It's not included in the box, and I wasn't expecting it to be included anyway. I plan to use this on my desk and nowhere else. The monitor has all the ports you need: DisplayPort, HDMI, and VGA, if anyone still uses that. You have audio in port if you plan to connect a sound source to play through the monitor speakers, and audio out port if you intend to connect external speakers. It comes with a 12 volts power brick that hasn't blown up yet, but I'm sure I can easily get an aftermarket replacement if something happens to it. When you get a new monitor, you need to first check for dead pixels, and I was lucky there was none. The best way to check this is to view a plain image in full screen and look for blacked out areas or missing pixels. If there was, I wouldn't have been able to send it back to the US from Nigeria here, but I was lucky there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. It came in a perfect working condition, no dead pixels, no cracks, nothing. Now, monitors with curved screen are generally known to be expensive, but I got this for around $159, and right now it's even selling for $149 on Amazon. I could be wrong, but this is the cheapest 27-inch curved monitor in the market. On the other hand, cheap can be synonymous with poor quality a lot of times. And if you're wondering if this looks like a cheap product, it doesn't. It's very slim and the bezels are really thin. The display is the most important thing here, and when I first got this unit, the display looked a bit washed out. I wasn't really satisfied with what I was seeing. I tried different display modes, cool, warm, normal, but I didn't get what I wanted until I tried making the display look like what I have on the iPad Pro. I was displaying the same thing on both devices through AirPlay and got to fine-tune the settings manually. So if you want to get the best out of this monitor, perhaps you should turn to manual settings. It's got a refresh rate of 75 Hz, which is good enough for me. But there's one major problem with the display you should know about. It suffers from light bleed around the edges of the screen, and this is very noticeable. When you're displaying a dark image, you can see the light around the edge of the screen. If you cannot ignore something like this, maybe you should stay away from this monitor. But you should know that this is a very common problem with cheap monitors sporting LCD displays and LED displays. You don't want this problem? Then go for an expensive monitor with OLED display. This is not a 4K monitor, it's 1080p, and I think you know what that means. You get really close enough, you may be able to see the pixels. I'm using it with my Apple TV primarily to watch movies and as a secondary display for my MacBook Pro through AirPlay. I do some occasional PS4 gaming with it too, and I can say the resolution is alright for my needs. The monitor comes with inbuilt speakers, but don't be excited. They sound so horrible I couldn't bear to listen to them, and I had to buy a pair of Logitech speakers. For $149, it will be irresponsible to demand perfection. This is a monitor that gets the basics right and gets the job done. Because of the color accuracy and resolution, I may not be able to recommend this monitor here for professionals who take these factors seriously. But if you need it just for gaming, entertainment, as a secondary display, or even as your primary display for your workstation, I'm not sure you could go wrong. Despite these issues, I think I'm okay with it. You get what you pay for, right? But the truth is, it's hard to find a monitor with the same specifications as this at the same price. That's my review of Sceptre C278W curved screen monitor. Hopefully, I'm going to see you in the next video. Stay safe.